Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Richard Leon, and this is Dirt Exhibition. The first machine that I ever had. The first machine that I ever had, I think it was a mini bike. It was a 3.5 horsepower Murray mini bike. It was like navy blue. It said like Moto Mini on the front of it. It had like a little number plate. It was pretty cool. Circular, some of them are square, but it all depends on whether you drive Polaris or Can-Am. That was a dig at Can-Am. It would probably be easier to tell you where I didn't take that thing. Because, I mean, we drove that thing all over town, man, everywhere. Everyone who lived in town knew me, not because we personally met each other, but they knew me as, like, that punk kid that drove his mini bike around town. There's so many stories behind that thing. That time, I remember it was raining. You were on the back of it. We were just kind of cruising around one of the local middle schools. There's this massive hill that was way too big to be riding some crappy ass mini bike with no suspension on it. And we came moving down the hill, dude, doing like 35, maxed out. I remember we just hit the bottom of the hill, and I was just trying to slow down, and there was just no brakes. There was nothing. And we smacked the bottom of that hill, dude. You came right off the back of the bike, and literally you were skiing down the road, holding on to my shoulders, dragging your feet, dude. I don't think we missed a beat.
And off they went, two 7-year-olds alone on the road.
So after the mini bike, I think my first real machine after the mini bike was my Honda XR100. It was like a 2001 XR100. My dad and my uncle got it for me. It was pretty sweet. Again, that thing, man, I literally made a name for myself on that dirt bike because I just drove that thing everywhere. It was like my freedom. It was like my wings. Like that feeling that you get when you turn 16 and you finally get your driver's license, that freedom feeling that you get to just drive around, dude. That was the feeling that I had on that XR100 at, I don't know, 10, 11, 12. That thing is it's in the big scrapyard in the sky. You know, and it didn't go there in one piece either. So I started to outgrow the bike a little bit. I started to beat on it, and on more than one occasion, I sent that thing off this massive mound of dirt. Not a jump. It was like a mound of dirt in this guy's backyard. We had this little tract growing up across the street from me. It was like, I don't know, 6 or 8 acres of landlocked land, so nobody could build out there. And we literally had, to this day, it's still there. We still have our own little circle track out there. And literally some guy's backyard, right next to the circle track, there was just a massive mound of dirt, man. And I literally like ghost rode that thing right off the top of the mound. Like 30 feet in the air, just came right off the back of the bike. And it went down hard in the front forks. It pushed the front tire in the engine. And that was kind of the end. That was the end of that thing. Like most kids growing up, you know, I had dirt bikes, quads. That mini bike though, that one definitely like that holds a special place in my heart, you know. I remember being a kid and going out with a couple of my buddies. They had go-karts, dirt bikes, things like that. And I never had one, you know, so I was always like tagging along with a buddy, you know, waiting, trying to ride passenger on his go-kart or something. And then, like I said, finally one day I convinced my parents to buy me that freaking mini bike. And funny story about the mini bike too. It was like a year before that maybe, I got my first BMX bike. So my dad bought me a GT dyno. It was absolutely insane. Like all the kids in the neighborhood were wicked jealous. They were hating on me because I had that bike. And I couldn't even stand on the thing. Couldn't pedal it down the road. It was crazy. And then one day my bike got stolen. I didn't have the heart to tell my dad because I knew if I told him, you know, one, he'd probably want to beat my head in, and two, he would have just been wicked mad. So growing up, we lived in a multi-family house that my grandfather owned in East Taunton, Mass. And that one day when I finally got that mini bike, right, my dad had brought it back to my mom's house, the 3-family, and we were unloading the bike out of the back of the truck. And one of the neighbors in the unit that was actually, you know, good friends of my family, good friends of my dad, he was like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? What's that thing?" And my dad told him, "Oh, you know, I got him a mini bike, whatever, da-da-da." So, you know, we're unloading the mini bike, we're having a 5-minute conversation, and the last thing my neighbor said before he walked away was, "Just do yourself a favor and make sure you lock that up so it doesn't get stolen like your bike." So literally, it was like a look of like laughter and excitement to instant like I want to kill you. Like if you guys know my dad, I'm sure at some point maybe we'll get him on the show. But like he just wanted to kill me. He really wanted to wring my neck. So he just turned and looked at me, and he goes, "What happened to your bike?" And I had to tell him what happened. And it was the saddest 10 minutes of my life because we literally rolled the mini bike back over, picked it up, put it in the back of his truck, and he took it away. And it literally took him like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 months before he actually let me take it back to my mom's house where I could ride it. Like I said, that was a special bike for me. Then things like XRs. I had a CR 125. I think it was early on, maybe freshman year of high school, my CR 125, that I actually went out and I got my first broken bone. I broke my clavicle. I was racing around town, and me and somebody else were racing down the road, and we literally came up to this right-hand turn, and he went up to take the right, and I tried to kind of cut the corner a little bit. So I went through this wicked tall grass, didn't even realize there was some telephone poles that were just kind of laying on the ground next to the fence. I hit one of those telephone poles, man. I went straight over, blew my clavicle out. I was like the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. It was horrible. I remember like the police showed up, an ambulance showed up. They asked me if I was okay. The ambulance saw me. I literally like refused to go to the hospital because I thought they were going to tow my bike. The police officer actually let me go. The ambulance actually had to call my mom because I was so young. So she had to consent to them releasing me, saying that I didn't need treatment. So it was a good time. I ended up pushing my bike up the road, and somebody ended up picking me up, giving me a ride. But yeah, so it's just again dirt bikes, four-wheelers, ATVs. I had a 2012 Honda CBR 1000. That thing was just absolutely insane. I mean, the speed, like the engineering, everything that goes into those bikes, it's unbelievable. I actually took that bike and I traded that bike in, and I used the trade-in from that bike to get my first Polaris RZR. It was a 900 XP four-seater. So if any of you guys are familiar with Polaris, you know that year, that 900 XP had trailing arm suspension. It was kind of like the coolest thing going at the time. I've had a Polaris RZR Turbo. I've had a Polaris 900S, all the way up to my 2019 RZR Turbo S that you guys see behind me here. So that's it, man. Just lots of bikes, lots of memories, lots of friends along the way. Got pulled over a couple times. So Dirt Exhibition is going to be a YouTube channel where I kind of show you guys, my lifestyle, kind of what we do. You're going to see things like ATVs, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, obviously side-by-sides, and we're just going to kind of share our experiences with you. Because again, I've had a lot of machines. I've been through countless machines, countless parts, countless accessories. And I know that especially with this machine, when I was looking to purchase accessories and figuring out exactly what I wanted to do to it, trying to research it online, it was kind of hard to find the stuff that I was looking for. I was digging through YouTube, trying to find the right video showing, hey, this type of winch, or hey, this type of light bar, this type of accessory. So I'm hoping that through the channel, I can kind of share my experiences with you, create a lot of reviews and a lot of product-based stuff to kind of give you guys a better idea what you're buying, before you buy it. Well, the old me would have told him to get lost, but the new me would just say no comment. Can-Am's an awesome machine. I mean, if you guys follow side-by-sides at all, you know that Polaris and Can-Am are constantly battling for first place, who makes the best production side-by-side on the market. And I'm hoping that, through the channel and with some of the stuff we plan to do, that I get a little bit of a chance to spend some more time behind the wheel of a couple of those Can-Ams. I mean, we're definitely going to be a family channel. I mean, I want to show you guys everything. Like I said, I mean, I don't know. If you follow me already, then you know that I have a 9-year-old son and a 1.5-year-old daughter. I plan to get my daughter involved a whole hell of a lot. But guys, my son is everything. I mean, he's here with us right now doing this. I mean, he's got a Polaris, not a side-by-side, but an Ace 570. He had a Polaris Ace 150. I mean, he's had dirt bikes, he's had four-wheelers, and I definitely want to show you guys my life, our life together. Like I said, kind of share our experiences with you, because there's a lot to be said for the kids too. I mean, my son in particular, when I was looking for the right machine for him, trying to figure out what we wanted to do, what we wanted to get him, I had a hard time finding that stuff. There's not a whole lot of people talking about, kids side by sides or kids UTVs. It's crazy, man. I'm just so grateful to be able to be here, and it's so awesome that we live in a time and a place where I can literally, get in front of this camera and talk to you guys and share my experiences with you, and in the same turn have you guys share your experiences with me. I've learned so much just, again, with being able to be on YouTube and all these other platforms, Instagram, seeing all these different things. I've built some great relationships with some people from all around the world. People that, without social media and without stuff like a YouTube channel or Instagram, I would have never been able to make those relationships. So, again, we've made a lot. I'm hoping to make a lot more. And that's it, guys. I'm ready to tear some shit up.